Right. So, my name is Swati, and I'm a marketing professional with over 13 years of work experience. And I love to share whatever I have learned so far in my journey so that young management graduates do not feel alone. When I started out my internship journey, I think I was quite clueless and I didn't have a lot of guidance, and that guidance could have gone a long way. So, let's talk about um, what really happens, right? So I guess there are summer internships and there are winter internships, but I'm also assuming that in general, there are short term, long term projects that you're working on. So, how can you go about ensuring that you are able to deliver what is expected and thereby convert your internship to a permanent job opportunity, right? So, the way these internships work is that generally they will look at your CV or your resume, right? And also, based on the interview or the hiring process, they will match your skill set, right, to the problem statements that they have. So, to the business problems that they have or the projects that they have, and then based on that, they will assign you to one of these projects, right? So, that basically becomes your summer internship project. Now, once you have been assigned a project, you will also be assigned a buddy or a mentor who will guide you and help you in the project. This specific person will also be having a reporting manager who will also perhaps be your reporting manager. So, this is the person who will make the decision, and your impression on this specific person is going to really matter a lot whether or not you get that replacement offer or a permanent gig. So these are your two important stakeholders. Use them to the fullest. Use your mentor to understand the problem statement, align with him on a plan, and make sure that you have regular milestone check ins. Use your reporting manager again to make sure that your expectations are clear and have, say, regular check ins to get their feedback. Now, the way the timeline of any internship works, um, let's just write timeline, or what are some of those critical um, milestones. See, an internship could be a 30, 60, or a 90-day project. And irrespective of the length, I think any internship project will have typically these stages, right? So you're given your problem statement on day zero, right? On this day or the first week, you're also introduced to various stakeholders, right? Your manager or buddy will probably ask you to go and speak to as many people as you can. During these sessions, what you really need to do is one, of course, um, understand like who does what. So have their roles and responsibilities clear so that you know who's the right person to go for when you need help. Also try to establish that relationship, right? And basically try to create like a visual map of the organization with names. um so once day zero or week one, whatever, your problem statement is defined, you know who your stakeholders are. During this time, it's also extremely important that whatever is your interpretation of the problem, that is aligned with your buddy and your reporting manager. Now coming to week 2, right? So I think the very important part here is your plan, right? What is your goal of the project and how do you plan to achieve that goal? Your goal can be broken down into smaller goals, right? And then for each smaller goal, you could have a separate plan. These plans could be sequential, they could be parallel, um, right? And the goals could add up to the bigger goal. All of this you will have to think through and go with your initial draft for a in principle approval. This is extremely important step. Like they say, if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. So, say you figured out your problem statement, you have understood it really well, and you have created the plan. Now, you would think it's all about execution. Honestly, it's not just about execution. Sometimes folks at these corporate groups and teams really love internal and external perspectives, right? So it helps to sort of do some amount of mystery shopping, right? Some amount of shadowing calls, right? Some amount of speaking to, your customers, right? Like speaking to uh, customers. Sorry, I don't know what just happened, but customers. And in all of this, I think you may be having something called as an orientation, right? This is where all the business heads are probably introduced to you so that you get complete context. During this time, if there's anything that's relevant to your project, please note down these statistics. For example, what is the TAM? What is the growth rate of the business? What are some of the business goals? What are your department goals? All of this sort of helps you to strategically tie it back in your final presentation. We often think orientations are no biggie and waste of time, and sometimes we sleep through it, but that's, I think, one of the most important parts to lay that context and to help you understand how various leaders in the organization are functioning. It also helps you understand what is the culture of the organization, how long the leaders have been over there, how they speak and conduct themselves, and what is expected from you. So week 4 could be a lot about outside in perspectives. There could be a lot of gaps that you have, which I think in week 4 can be addressed. So whatever gaps you have figured in your outside in, you can discuss it with your team, with your buddy, with your manager, but more importantly with a lot of stakeholders and get their views. So right now we know problem definition, we know the plan, and we know the outside in perspective. Now it's all about start executing your plan to actually meet the goals. But the most important part is, where are your quick wins? Quick wins. Trust. Right? Along with this, it's the milestones. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Week 5, 6, and why I have grouped these together is because I think somewhere around this time you should be in a position to show the initial draft or midway draft of your recommendation. And it's important that you show this beforehand to both your buddy and your reporting manager, because sometime down the line there could be a panel with, say, the department head and other reporting managers trying to evaluate you. So the sooner you get this feedback and incorporate it in your presentation, the faster would be um chances of you, like, you'll be able to quickly change your presentation and make sure that your manager and your buddy are aligned and they can make a case for you. So basically get your team on your side before you go ahead in front of the panel. Now the other thing was about quick wins and about trust. So what does it mean by a quick win, right? And why is it very important? Say you have a 60 or a 90-day internship project duration. At that time, they're evaluating you whether or not you can be a part of their team, correct? So they may be managing several projects, right? And in your own project, right, if there's something that you have been able to come across as an insight that is actually being implemented in a real project, please publish that and talk about it. So your goal has to be that I am able to figure out either an insight or a data point, and I'm able to sort of get that implemented, obviously with the help of the buddy. So your publish would actually be a thank you note, because you're going to say this is my internship, the first ever thing, and a first ever business implementation, and I'm super excited. The other bit is about trust. Now, in well established organizations, in really big corporates, I don't think anybody is insecure about their work. But now we don't know, with layoffs and everything, everybody is insecure. So, it's very important that at each time you conduct yourself in such a way that the team can trust you. In meetings, come prepared. Share your point of view. Please ensure that you don't come across as not an active listener. And the other bit is, please ensure that you do not at any point in time act like you're throwing anybody under the bus, correct? So this would really help you gain the trust. So the recommendation has to be thought through and feedback before you address the panel. Quick wins is your goal, where you publish it, and then trust. Now, what is something that is more important, right, apart from all of these things, is you need to definitely publish a weekly progress, right? This is my problem statement, and I have done 1, 2, 3 towards it. This is the result of it in numbers and in timeline, and I'm expecting this out of it. I'm planning to do this now. So these are my key wins and these are my key deliverables going forward, and I hope you're aligned, and I'm looking forward to your feedback. And this has to be published consistently every Friday, Monday, whatever suits your manager, so that they are in loop of what is going on, and at the same time you don't look like you're slacking, and there is a continuity from the day you started. So that's a little bit of whatever I wanted to share with you. I hope this was helpful. Please comment and let me know your feedback, and if you'd like any other topic, I'll be happy to share.